I suppose, Joe, I mean, you'd be in the situation normally, you know, playing in this league, going up to Liverpool, it's one of the great games of the year, but again, you're still chasing his first win. Does that kind of take the shine off a trip like this?
No, not at all. It's you know, when you get promoted, these kind of games are the ones you really kind of look forward to, and I think particularly for us because we've had a good experience up there, obviously in the cup game a couple of years ago. So you know, we'll be going back there with good feelings and good memories of Anfield, and you know, knowing that we can go to a place like that and win a game of football.
How important is that? You know, when you're going up against, you know, a globally recognised club, but you know, you know, at the end of the day, you can bring them down a bit or two.
Yeah, massively, and I think that's, you know, probably Spurs apart this year. One thing, you know, we've said we want to make sure we're in a game every time we go out on the pitch, and you know, that game we didn't do ourselves justice, but we feel if we're at it and we do the things we do well, then you know, no team will come off with an easy sort of match against us. And you know, I think if we can go and do that on Saturday, we'll have a good chance of getting a result.
Obviously, they're top draw, but it's not been necessarily top draw performances from this season. Does that kind of give you a bit of encouragement as well? That, you know, they are, you know, they're a scalp that's right for the taking. Yeah,
of course, they're a top club and they've got some top players there. But you know, they've been a little bit sort of sticky, particularly at home probably, and you know, probably haven't had the greatest of starts. But you know, neither have we in terms of the points we've got. So you know, every game's one that we can go and try and win, and I'm sure they'll be thinking exactly the same. So you know, as I say, it's a game of football, and that's all that matters really. You know, our sort of motto is the next game is the most important one, and that's obviously Liverpool on Saturday.
What do you have to do? I mean, what does the team have to do? What do, you know, individuals have to do to make sure you bring back 3 points?
Well, I think from our point of view, it's just making sure we perform at our best. You know, sort of 1 through to 11. You know, we've found out this year if you know 3, 4, 5 of us aren't quite at the races, we're not going to get a result. You know, and you know, the quality is a lot different to the Championship. So you know, limiting chances is something we've got to, you know, make sure we improve on. You know, we've conceded too many for our liking, and some of them are probably half chances. But as I say, with the quality you're facing up here, you get punished, and you know, we've just got to make sure we get back to probably being solid. And I think if we can do that, you know, as a whole team, you know, that was probably the basis of our success last year. You know, right from the front, everyone works hard and makes sure that, you know, people don't get time on the ball. And I think if we can do that and limit their chances, we've got more than enough to give them problems, as we've shown, you know, this year with the goals we've scored and the chances we've created.
You're going into a huge arena there. You know, the people talk about the noise and, you know, that business. What's that like when you go to a club which has got such a huge following and, you know, such a vocal following?
Yeah, it's, I suppose, and you know, once you're out there, you kind of, I wouldn't say block it out, but it's not really an issue. You know, you're so focused on getting a result and doing your job really that it becomes a sort of a side issue. You know, I think it's part and parcel of going to big clubs and, you know, good supporters, that you have to take that in your stride really. And for us, we can use it to our advantage as we have done. You know, going away to, you know, Chelsea was a very good performance from us this year, that we should have really got something. And you know, they're games we want to play in at the end of the day, and it's where we want to be. So we've got to go and embrace it, and you know, really relish those type of games.
Something which came up with Brian, aside from the Reading side of things, obviously the under-21s business this week in Serbia. What's your take on it? See that?
I don't even really want to get started. It's you know, it seems to be something that is reoccurring in certain parts of the world that. It's not surprising. I think that's a disappointing thing. There's a history of it, particularly there and in other nations, you know, particularly in that region. And for me, it's just, you know, another bad example of racism, point blank. You know, I don't think there's any debate about it. And the fact that, you know, they've come out and said there wasn't any, you know, is just embarrassing really, and pretty farcical. And you know, I just think that until we have a real statement from, you know, UEFA, FIFA, whoever it is, you know, it's just going to carry on. You know, I saw something yesterday on the TV about, you know, the fines that have been handed out. I think it was Spain and someone else, like €15,000 and 40,000, and Nicholas Bentner gets done 80 grand for showing his boxers. For, you know, it's crazy. You know, I just don't understand the balance there, and you know, I think it has to be a lot harsher punishment. and a real zero tolerance policy, you know, I think all across the board to racism. I just think if we don't do that, then it's going to linger on, and, you know, at the end of the day, if these teams can't conduct a football match without racism occurring, then they shouldn't be able to hold a game, or at least with fans in the ground. That's my opinion.